Hi, Paul from Contemporary Synth here. In these tutorials we go over the technical and artistic capabilities of the Phantom-0 workstation. In tutorial 4 I worked on the song All Glory Is Yours, and we talked about vertical layering or velocity layering when you use keyboard velocity to change your tone, which is different from horizontal layering or keyboard split where you use different keys to change your sound. We're going to continue on that today as we work on verse 2 of the same song. Again, if you'd like to see the music, it's on the publisher's website. Link below. You can get a free preview of the lead sheet and also actual piano notation, whichever you are more comfortable playing. I think that would really help you follow along, but I think you can use the principles we're going to talk about today and in any of the tutorials and any musical work that you're pursuing. So again, we're going to start with verse 2 today. It continues the same contemplative feel of the rest of the piece, and I'm going to stay in the scene that I started building in tutorial 4. I have not carried over the wave edits or the filters that we put in there because we're not going to need them today. Instead, I'm going to start with a guitar sound for verse 4. I want to have a finger-picked guitar for the verse, and then it'll come in on the refrain using the same pattern we built before. So I'm going to go to zone 4, which I haven't populated yet, and put in a guitar. And I like the nylon guitar feel, but the one I've picked for today is solo steel, and I'll show you why. It's very pretty, but when you go to look at it in the filter section, you see some really interesting things. The first is that there's some keyboard layering going on. So partials 1 and 2 are from the low C up to E5. So middle C is C4, C5, E5. So here up to E5 we get partials 1 and 2, which I'll tell you is a guitar sound. You can see that here. Nylon guitar, string guitar. And then partial 4, which starts up here and goes all the way up to G9, is a guitar harmonic. Which is a great idea because it gives you some versatility in the tone, and also guitar doesn't sound great up there. Most guitars aren't playable up there, so why not put something different? That's really clever. The other thing they do in this sound that's really clever is from low C to D3, so if this is C4, C3, D3, when the velocity is 85 or higher, you get guitar fret noise. If you hit it gently, you don't get it. But if you hit it above 85, you do. And that creates a really interesting effect. Two other things I'll point out that are kind of cool about that setting is notice the fret noise happens when I pick the key up. And that's because the delay mode is on key off. Also notice how it's different every time. And that's because in the pitch section, there's a random pitch depth that adjusts the sound. If I back this down to 0, it sounds exactly the same. But if I put it up to a high number, I get more. Which is a really clever edit that I would never have thought of, but that's why I came to like this tone. In addition to it sounding cool, I learned a lot from it. Now also, partials 1 and 2 are the same range and the same velocity, and I briefly touched on this, but they have slightly different sounds. So if I go with just partial 1, I get a nylon guitar, and if I go with partial 2, I get steel guitar. If I put them together, I get solo steel. All right, very cool. So let's put a pattern down using the guitar. Now, pattern A is for my refrain. Pattern B is just the last note of the whole song. So I'm going to start with pattern C with my guitar. Go to record, wait note. I do not need quantization. I know that my verse is 17 measures long. I'm going to slow my tempo down a bit. Looks good. 1, 2, 3. Aha, I did forget something. Undo that. When I was playing this track, that pattern was playing. So if I long press that, it will disable. Now I can go back to where I was. I want to be in track 4, pattern C, length of 17. Let's try it again. 2, 3. Edit that, and I think I missed a couple of these notes. Move, just put these on the downbeat. And some of the slightly missed notes will be okay because they'll be masked by other stuff going on. All right. So that's the guitar. That'll be the underlying accompaniment. I'll be playing the piano along with it. Now I want to have an instrumental harmony that I can sing with. And we'll put that here. And I decided to go with a clarinet because a clarinet has a really nice sound in the lower registers. And it's in the wind section over here. I do not see a big difference between clarinet 1 and clarinet 2. So that's fine. That's really pretty. And then to help with the vocal harmony, both to help me stay on pitch and to make sure that the voice can be heard or the melody can be heard, I want to put a tenor saxophone here in track 6. So let's look at that. Here it is right on top. Now that's not going to, I'm not going to have that very loud. The clarinet will be louder. All right, I want to record both of these at the same time so I can enable them both like that. They will record. Now the other thing that I want to do, if I play both at the same time, that's not the sound I want. What I want is the clarinet to be up here. So I'll start that on this note, and I want the saxophone to end there. But I don't want the clarinet to be an octave higher. I want it to be in the same octave I'm playing the saxophone. So let's edit that. And I'll move that down an octave. So now they're in the same octave. Okay? Pattern. This is track 5 pattern C. Track 4 pattern C is highlighted, which means it will play, which is good. I'll need the accompaniment. And I'm going to play a part that's in the book. So let's do it. Weight note set, quantization off, set the length to 17. I'm going to slow it down a bit because this is really hard to play because there's 2 notes and they overlap and they're in the same octave, and I'm not very good at this. Let's go. 3. 1, 2, rest. 1, 2, 3. 2, Alright, now let's quickly put down a bass track with this, with the same contrabass we've been using, length 17. Sure wish it remembered that. Wait note, and go. Zone 1, play along. Okay, so those 4 tracks are recorded, and I'm going to make those into a group so I can add them to the song. We'll put them here. We'll set that, and we're going to call it Clear All Verse 2. Okay, now for the sake of today, I'm going to add that to the beginning of the song. So I'm going to add it there, except that's not where I want it to go. Refrain 1. Let's replace that. And then add that. So verse 2, refrain 1, last beat. Let's double check it. Play. I'll use this. Aha. Guess what I forgot to do with the group I just created? It defaults to a length of 1. Make that 17. Let's go to the song. Let's try it again. I'm going to speed up to fast forward. We don't need to hear it in real time. Just want to make sure the switch works. Okay. Well, I don't think we want to do it like that for real. But we did see that it switched nicely and it ends the way we'd expect. Also, we know it's a 17 measure verse and a 10 measure refrain and then a 1 measure end. So looking at the measure numbers, 29 looks good. Okay. Song. Let's try it. God, how can we know you? Who knows your mind? What more can we do but serve you and love you? You are God, all glory is yours. To you, O God, all glory be, all glory forever. To you, O God, all glory be, all glory forever. Amen. All right. Well, that's it for today. In tutorial 6, we're going to finish this song by adding vocal harmonies to the internal memory, which we then tie to pads, and then we'll do it again with more instruments and vocal harmonies together. That'll be fun. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.